is Sue Gardner, and I'm the Executive Director of the Wikimedia Foundation. So the Wikimedia Foundation is the organization, it's a nonprofit located in San Francisco. It's the organization that operates Wikipedia and the other Wikimedia websites. So everybody knows Wikipedia, and typically they don't think very much about how it's funded or what kind of organization supports it. If people do think about it, typically they think that it is like Google or like Facebook or Yahoo. It's a large company with tens of thousands of employees, probably in Silicon Valley, and they assume it's got a multi-million-dollar budget. It had an IPO many years ago, and it generates a lot of revenue for somebody. And none of that is true. The Wikimedia Foundation is the nonprofit that was established by Jimmy Wales in 2003 to run Wikipedia, to buy those servers and pay the bandwidth bills and so forth. It's really small. We have a really small budget. We have a staff of about 45 people. We operate out of San Francisco, and how we pay our bills is essentially we depend upon the kindness and the goodwill of strangers. So what that means is once a year we run an annual campaign, a fundraising campaign, and people donate through the website. There's a little donate button on the left navigation, and people just give us money through PayPal or through their credit card or whatever. The average donor gives about $35, and they are teachers and parents and kids who got through graduate school or med school or law school by using Wikipedia. They're just the folks, they read the site, they like Wikipedia, they find it useful for them, and so they give us $50.
The ideal encyclopedia should be radical. It should stop being safe, which is a quote from Charles Van Doren, who said this, I think, in 1961. And the reason I start with that is because I think it sets the appropriate frame for the work that we're doing. When I first came to Wikimedia, I spent a lot of time telling people the projects are serious, right? Wikipedia is a serious educational endeavor, and you should trust it, because people weren't always necessarily trusting it. Over time, as I've talked to more audiences, I've actually started nuancing that message a little bit. Wikipedia is serious, and people should take it seriously, but it's also radical. There are a lot of entities and a lot of organizations who aren't in favor of information being freely available to everybody all around the world. And I think it's important for us to clearly frame ourselves up as in favor of information getting to people, whether or not institutions, countries, governments, etc. want that to happen. Are the 5th most popular website in the entire world. Hardly anybody knows that. You'll often find people will say to you, oh, I thought we were number 10 or 14. Usually when they say that, they're talking about the United States, right? Because most internet companies only really care about the United States, where that's their primary focus. We care about the whole world. We're number 5 globally around the world. The New York Times, and I think you can see there's a spike where the New York Times bought about.com, because when they put those audiences together, they took a little jump up. And CNN, the BBC, and a bunch of other sites, right? So the reason I use this slide is because if you are National Geographic or the person in charge of the Wall Street Journal or whatever, you kind of have a Wall Street Journal, National Geographic-centric worldview. I had a meeting once with one of the public broadcasters who said to me, we'd really like to do a partnership with you guys, and we think that one of the things that we can bring to you is our massive audience. And Mike Godwin and I were on Instant Messenger during that chat, and we were laughing with each other, which wasn't very nice. But people don't understand, right? A lot of people don't understand. They have a distorted view of the world, and they think Wikipedia is some kind of fringy thing that's really interesting that the kids are into or whatever. And this just clearly paints a really different picture, right? And we've achieved that without any efforts. Like the other companies spend a lot of time trying to drive up their traffic and trying to inflate their statistics, right? The way people edit is a combination of wanting to make the world a better place, right? And also just because they find it pleasurable, they find it joyful, right? It's fun, they make friends, it's the kind of work that they enjoy. So I can say that to people, right? And a line that I sometimes use when I'm talking to baby boomers is I will sometimes say, your generation might have manifested your, good intentions in the world by joining the Peace Corps, right? And I try and frame it up to them that today, the same people who would have joined the Peace Corps 25 years ago, today might rather edit Wikipedia, right? So I try and frame it to them as an act of public service. Because I think a lot of older people, especially if they're not online themselves, a lot of older people sometimes just see it as Twitter, they see it as Facebook, they see it as non-socially